Hello! Hey everybody! Hey! How's it going? Hey, we're alright. Hey, nice to see you all. Hi everyone in the chat. Maria Peterson says, hi Luke, and everyone else. Capra Lord says, we're ready for some spicy sad time. Hi everyone, it's lovely to see you all in the chat. Welcome if you've just joined from Ellen's stream. Really enjoyed Ellen's Q&A stream over there. Yeah, I was, sat here watching. Yeah, that was really good stuff. How about those zooms? Way to up the production values. So, hi everyone, hi, Sean Blythe says hi, Hippie Girl 81 says hi, Duo Maxwell says first time here. Well, okay, look, so if it's your first time here, why don't I explain what the whole situation is with this jazz. So, first thing we need to know is, can you hear me okay, and can you hear this? Does that all sound okay? Can we hear that? Just let me know if you can hear some sweet piano, and then I'll know that everything working. Yep, alright, the chat says yes. Okay, cool. Alright, so what we do on these live streams, if you are, like I know many of you will be joining for the first time, is we just have a lovely time. We just try and write something that sounds really sweet. We've come up with some really nice stuff on previous streams. That's one of them. There's not much pressure, we just keep it easy. And we try and make a nice piece of music that's just going to be something that you can kind of vibe to, something that you don't have to like think about, something that doesn't travel, something that's not too emotional. Sometimes it's a little sad. The chat regulars have taken to calling themselves Spicy Sad Squad, and that is because, and I try not to do too much music theory on here because I don't know that much, but when we talk about chords, we talk about making them spicy like this, and making them spicy sad like this. There we go. This is spicy. Ooh, spicy. This is spicy sad. Ooh, spicy, but also kind of sad. Let's do the D. Let's do the D version of them. Spicy. Spicy sad. There you go. So that's where that comes from. What we're going to be doing here is trying to come up with something that's kind of within the lo-fi genre. So this is the beat that we're going to be working to today. There's usually a beat that we play along to, and here is today's. I've cooked this up ahead of time. Let me know if this is coming through all right. Sounds okay to me. There's a chill beat. And we've got a pedal tone, which is what you call it when there's just one note that runs under everything, and this week it's a G. If I play the G there, you should be able to hear it. Cool, alright, that's coming through and sounds good. So basically what we're going to do is, mess around, try and come up with something lovely, a lovely chord sequence in the key of G, and then we'll put it over that beat at the end, and ultimately we'll try and come up with something that sounds kind of like it's in the lo-fi sort of vein. Here's a little preview of like how we'll eventually be playing it, like instrumentally, like if I just play a G chord here. Sounds nice, right? This couplet says, urge to dirge. Oh, Sammy Fiddle says, very massive attack in that beat, hearing teardrop already. Now that is high praise indeed. So, the reason that I wanted to do this one in G was that I had a little idea. Let's go back to the piano. I had a little idea this week, a little musical idea, and I thought I would save it up for the stream, and it was really, really simple. It's basically this. What if we start on a G chord like this? And then go to D major, and then take advantage of the fact that in that D major chord, which I think you can see along the bottom of the screen there, all the notes I'm playing there. you can see that those notes coincidentally are all the same notes that you get in a G major 7th chord, which is there. Gosh, doesn't that sound lovely? Doesn't that sound beautiful? I'm such a big fan of playing, just playing a chord and then moving one note. We're just moving one note, which is the left hand. We're moving that D up to the G, and we completely change the vibe. Isn't that beautiful? So basically I had the idea that I wanted to do something that involved this movement. That's going to just a regular G major chord at the end there. So from C, D, there we go. That's a little more sort of like emotional than we sort of normally go for on these streams. So we'll be trying to keep it chill. But there we go. HGrav says, could be the elevator music for a game I'm making. Angela Sanchez says, really neat, thank you. Tom Titherington says, sounds like you sound like a musical Bob Ross. Angela Beat says, that sounds very royal. Royal. I like royal. Wimpy Doodle says, done, might as well end there. And Adam Mitilinski says, grandiose chill. Cool, well I mean, those are all very complimentary terms. Thank you. Rasmus NEM says, major 7th chords, the roots of jazz. Oh yeah, let's hear one. Oh my gosh. Isn't that lovely? Claire T says, needs to be spicy royal. That is right. And Julian Orajana says, very swelling emotionally, which could be fun. And Shy Violet says, hi, Spicy Sad Squad, how goes it? It goes alright. It goes alright, thanks. So that's where we are. So we're in the key of G. And it's time, basically, to kick off. I'll check in with the chat as we go. Shep says, hey Luke, you got me into making lo-fi. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Thank you. I'm really new to the genre myself. Only started doing it after I kind of started making these streams and found that they were just the perfect thing to be sort of figuring out and playing around with to try and try and create a chill vibe. I just want to create a stream that you can put on in the background, on in a different tab, and not pay too much attention to, and just have a lovely time. And hey, this is what I'd be doing anyway. This is absolutely how I relax. So, so there you go. Dacobus says, if happy little trees could be music. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Now Sammy Gitfiddle says, throw an E into that mix and really bring the spice to the royalty. Okay, that's an interesting idea. So let's try that. So we were on that, there we were on that, that was that D major chord. Now if we add an E, what does that do? Ooh. Nice. That would be the 9th. That's turning it into a D9. That is cool. 9th chords are very Legend of Zelda, which is why they're so good. And they're very common in video game music as well, actually, because they create this sort of sense of musicality and tone, but in a very ambiguous way, in a way that loops really nicely. Let's try a G9. Lovely. Isn't that nice? Regnad Zoom says, creating lo-fi via Wi-Fi. And Eloquence Winter says, do you have any thoughts on major versus minor key? None at all. Here's a thought I have on it, is that I think one of the first things you're taught when you start learning music, and I can see why, is that major chords sound happy and minor chords sound sad. Which, yes, that is absolutely true, but the more you play around and the more pieces of music you learn, you realise that minor chords only sound sad out of all context. If I play a C minor chord, it sounds real sad. But if I play it in the context of something that's like in the key of G, so if I'm like this, and then I go C major, C minor, G, then I think actually that C minor sounds really triumphant, right? Can you hear that different vibe? Da, da, da. Oops. Okay, well if I play it right, it does. So, I don't know. That's my take on major minor chords. Canned Laughter says a bit of Bohemian Rhapsody there. Yeah, if you've watched his streams before, you'll know I really like to end everything with these little octave notes at the end, like this. Which is very Bohemian Rhapsody. Cool. Boogerom says, I'm French and I do not use the letter notation. Can you play a G to remind me what the G is? Yeah, of course. So the G is what you can see there all over the piano now. This one, 5 up from C. Okay, so we're in the key of G, so I think G is a reasonable place to start. But G major is probably a bit basic. Not basic, that's not fair, but we're trying to create something kind of in the lo-fi genre. And if I play this G major chord, I think you can kind of hear that it wants to go somewhere. It sounds a little triumphant, right? And that's not what we want. We want something that's a little bit more like aloof, a little bit more ambiguous. Shy Violet says, I've seen that little picture behind you every stream and I still have no idea what it is. It's a photo from a PUP concert, PUP, my favourite band, a concert in London that I was lucky enough to attend when they took this absolutely astonishing photo. I'm in the crowd there somewhere. That was taken by Amanda Foates, who's an incredible gig photographer. You should follow her on Instagram. Okay, so where were we? G. So G major. So let's try and spice it up a little. We could make it a 7th. Hello, by adding in that F, which is pretty nice. It sounds a little what's the word? I want to say raunchy. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Sounds a little still sounds a little too strong if you ask me. So that's the G major. That's the 7th. Ba da ba 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 ba. Let's try the major 7th. Now we're talking. That's the stuff. Now we're talking lo-fi beats to study, relax to, what have you. Nice. Let's see if we can knock it even more sideways by adding a 9th, which for G would be A. We were just talking about 9th chords. So yeah, Caprilord says, now you're thinking with spice. Yeah, we are. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. So what if I play that G major 7th and add in the A. Nice. That's a little similar to something we've done before on this stream. There was a G chord in there. But I don't think that's a problem necessarily, because we are starting on a different chord, so it's got a different vibe. So, plus, I mean, the whole vibe of that thing was still like going up like that. So how about we just change it by going down? Ooh, that's nice. Let's just hear how that'll sound when we switch to the lo-fi piano. Oh my gosh, send me straight to heaven. How good is that? I'm immediately so chilled out. I mean, I'm not super chilled out because I'm still doing a live stream. I'm as chilled out as you can be when you're hosting something like this. LeBlanc says, oh, damn. Daniel Sanchez says, hashtag send it. There we go. That is lovely. Caitlin RC says, "You okay there, Luke?" Yeah, I'm okay. I just played a beautiful chord. Lovely. That is... Angel Beat says, "Spice, the final frontier." That is a very spicy chord, because we've messed with it twice. We've got the major chord, and then we've added a major seventh, which is a spicy sad chord. You just go one down from your main note, which is G, so we just go one down here, to the F sharp. And then we are also adding the A, which is a ninth. We've talked about ninth chords before, but there are, in a regular octave, if we go back to C, then there are 8 notes. We start on C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the 8, you end up back on C. So if you wanted to add a ninth to that, you just go one more, and it's D. So if you want to play a C9 chord, you play a C major chord and add a D. There you go. Chords aren't so complicated, and once you learn how they're built up for one thing, you can sort of apply it to everything else, which is how I've I really focus on chords musically. I'm only interested in chord progressions. I've got very little dexterous talent. I can't around the keyboard, because I just spend all my time just trying to find sweet chords, and I think it's a worthy pursuit. So that's how we'll start. Let's switch back to the piano. The reason I usually stick with the piano mainly is because it lets you hear is because it just lets you hear harmonically what's going on the clearest. If we were doing something really muddy, like, I don't know, let's put in an E as well, like, that's a bit complicated. That starts to sound very muddy, and when you've got this lovely clear piano sound, it just gets you the best sense of how things are sounding in general. So let's start with this. Right, we're only one chord in. Where does that want to go? Da, bum, ba, da, 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 da. It could go to D. It could. Da, da, na, na, na. That's an option. Stick it on the maybe pole. Could go to A minor maybe. Oh, that's nice. I'm getting real strong Donkey Kong Country vibes from that. That's an A major seventh. Angela Sanchez always has great suggestions. To D maybe, or a C would work. Let's try C. G to C. Job done, that's it. It's got to be a C chord. That sounds awesome. Let's try and knock it around a little. So that's a C major chord I was playing there. Real basic. Let's just try a C minor chord. I don't think it'll work, but just for argument's sake. You know, that doesn't not work. But... I don't know. It's not quite right. Angel Beat says, sounds like the intro to a medical drama series. No, I don't like the C minor. Not compared to the C major, which is that. That sounds great. Phyllis Smith says not as nice. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I'm inclined to agree. Wow, we've got 463 people watching at the moment. Hello, everyone. That is more viewers than we normally get. I'm going to credit that to Ellen, sending some viewers my way. But welcome along if this is your first time. I hope you find this relaxing. That's the goal. I mean, that's relaxing me already. If you're new, you'll not know that I hum all the time. Da-na-na-na, ba-da-na, da-na-na-na. Okay, that's nice. Okay, let's try and knock that C chord around a little, mess it up a little. T-Birch42 says, I'm doing laundry by hand and listening to this just makes the chores more relaxing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Can't Stop the Bee says, you could use C minor to get to D major. Let's check that out. C minor. D major. Yeah? Yep, that's got some travel to it. But the C is charming me. But let's mess it around. Let's try making it spicy, not spicy sad, by adding a seventh, which is this B flat. Ba-da-na. Okay, hello Jazz. Jazz has entered the chat. Okay, that's pretty that is pretty. How would we describe that, folks? Rebecca M says, oh ho 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 ho. That's right. It's nice. It's nice, but let's not stop there. Let's not stop there. Carl Stewart says, hi Luke, can I ask what keyboard you're using? I've been looking into getting one, and yours has a rich sound and doesn't sound like some of the basic ones I've been looking into. Well, so this is a Yamaha Piaggio NP12. It's pretty cheap. It was a keyboard I bought when I started taking piano lessons a few years ago. The rich sound, however, it sounds lovely. The rich sound is because I'm playing this as a MIDI interface through Logic Pro 10, which is some Apple software. And we've got that to thank for this particular piano sound. That said, it does sound good by default. It doesn't have a lot of it doesn't have any synthesizer stuff. It's just very basic. The thing that I like about it is just that it's small and it's really, really compact. So if you don't have a lot of space, in general, it's one of the sort of smallest keyboards you can get. It doesn't have weighted keys is the only downside. So the keys don't have that sort of springy, bouncy feeling that you would get with, you know, on a real piano. Nice. Sammy Get Fiddle says, the closer this gets to a Tom Waits downtown jazz ballad, the happier I'm getting. Okay, so I think I get the impression that the chat is liking that C7 chord, which is this. Lovely. Let's try a spicy sad chord, which would be the C major 7 rather than dominant 7, which just means, as we talked about before, you go down just one, the smallest amount you can go down from your main note. So if that's C, we go down just one step to B, so that would sound like this. Yikes. Hello. One of my favourite chords. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Don't cry on a live stream, Luke. Don't cry because you played a stupid chord. I cry at literally anything, and I'm tearing up now because I played a chord. What's wrong with me? Oh, sorry, that was an F in the bass. Well, now that's lovely. Okay, so chat, tell me generally. We'll number these so that it's easy. Do you prefer option 1? Or do you prefer option 2? Option 1. Option 2. What do we think? Ooh, Ulrich Kempton says 2. Freedy Human 2. Some votes for option 1. Okay, wow, we're exactly split. But here's an interesting suggestion. Spike Peace and a few other people suggest 1 and 2 right after another. Alright, let's try that. Hey, I like that. Do you know why I like that? Because it gets us twice as far into the song. And it is hard to write a song that is, as that is like song length, which is like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. It is hard to write that much music, which is why I have in the past stopped at 30 seconds. So I love this time saving. This is efficient. We just use it both. That's cool. Alright, okay, let's play both. Where are we going from there, though? That's the question. Let's just try and hear a direction in our heads. I think we want to hit a odd sort of chord, so I can hear it in my head. I think we want to hit a chord that we can like rest on for a little bit because we've got a lot of motion here. Oh, okay. I've just had an idea. We were talking about okay. Oh, lots of suggestions. Marty Gionis, F major or B major after the C7. F major. That could be nice. Where's the C7? Yeah, that could be nice. F sharp minor. Ooh, that's cool. It's quite strong. It's quite strong. Angela Sanchez, E minor. Let's hear that. Okay, let's hear it in context. And then to the E minor. Okay, I like that. I like that. That's a good place to stop and rest. That's nice. That's a nice place to stop and rest. Let's try and mess around with it a little, though. Okay, okay. 2 things. Nerdazoid says, what a cool stream. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So, 2 things. First off, if you are new here, and you are even halfway enjoying this, then why not hit that subscribe button, because odds are you're new. But I've started doing these, pretty regularly during lockdown. So yeah, subscribe if you want to sort of listen to more. We play something new every week, but it's always strives to be relaxing. Always follows this same basic idea. We like compose something with the help of the chat, try and come up with something beautiful. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, we were talking about C minor earlier, and we wrote it off because it's no good. Because it's not good. It's not good for us, man. It's healthy. It's unhealthy. It's bad. It's too fattening. We can't handle it. Yeah, it's too fattening. But what if we, hello. What if we accidentaled... So a C major is these notes. You can see them on the screen now. Alejandro Garcia says subscribed. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Caitlin RC says can confirm, very chill, spicy times. So there's your C major chord. These notes here. To make that C minor, you just move that E down a step. The E is the third. You move it to a minor third. But which means that if we slide from this to this, we might get a nice sound. I'm over-explaining this, so it better sound good. Yeah, it sounded great. Okay, personally, we were talking about doing pattern 1, then pattern 2. I'm starting to think we should do pattern 2, then pattern 1. Hear how that sounds and see if you agree. Sunarcta says, oh yes, put in the accidental. Lumusty says, yes, that's excellent. Wimpy Doodle says, currently sitting in a fancy jazz club, virtual of course. Oh gosh, well, I mean at a jazz club you would A, get a much more competent musician, and B, they probably wouldn't be like looking at you over your drinks being like, is this okay? Does this sound okay? How about this? That sounds bad, right? That sounds bad. We should, but is that okay? Is this okay? Tell me if it's okay. Cool. Now let's talk about this E. I think fundamentally that's the right place to go, but it doesn't quite sound right to my ear. It sounds too down. It sounds too sad. So let's... Rebecca M says, I don't know, I know some jazz musicians and that sounds pretty accurate. Names Next says, you're describing me when I perform. And LeBlanc says, Luke, I would absolutely go to a jazz lounge if you were playing there. Shucks. An Elegant Egotist says, no negative self-talk in this house. Has to be a little. That's how it keeps me honest. So, how lush does that sound, by the way? And it's all thanks to that B in there. If I lose that B, see how much worse it sounds. It's got to be this. It's feeding me. So that E minor. So let's just mess around with it a little. What if it was an E major? That would be, where would that be? That would be here. So we're going from here to here. Same problem. Here's the minor. Sounds too sad. Major. Sounds too happy, which means we need something, a bit, a little crunchy. Something crunchy in the middle. So let's try and crunch it up. So what did I do there? I played that D, and that D makes it a 7th. Let's see if that's crunchy enough. We're going from here to here. Yes, now we're talking. Yeah, alright, that's cool. Angela Sanchez suggests an E9 though. So let's not stop. Let's not necessarily just stop here and declare the search over. Although that is, you know, a beautiful chord. Chords sound nicer the softer you play them. And I'm saying that as someone whose first love is like punk music, but it's true. Okay, right. Let's try that E9, which would be... No. There it is. It's adding in an F sharp. We can try that. We can try that. Why not? Let's be bold. So we were here. So what if we go... Oh gosh, come on fingers. Interesting. I mean, that's an E minor ninth. That's an E major ninth. Let's try them both. And the minor. I'm more tempted by the minor. Dun, dun, dun. Where were we? Come on. It's nice. We haven't yet tried the A Spicy Sad. Welsh says, who's here from Ellen's stream and instantly subscribed? Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. And Sam Huish says that E minor ninth could go back to the G pretty nicely. I wager you're right, Sam. I wager you're exactly on the money. Let's hear that. So there's the E minor ninth. Back to the... Hey, I think that will go back to the... I think that will go back to the G chord. Beautiful. Let's look at why that works. So here's that first chord. It's the E minor ninth. Have a little look at the notes that are being played there. You can see them down along the bottom. Now when I move to the G9 chord, the only note that's different, there are only two notes that are different in that whole mess. In the left hand we move to the G up here, and in the right hand we lose this G. We don't need that G because we're now playing one in the bass, so it's doing the same job. So we lose that and we swap it. We keep all these notes the same and we swap it for this A up here. Generally speaking, if you can find a chord, if you can find two chords that have a lot of notes in common, then they're probably going to sound great together. So thank you for that suggestion. That was great. All right, well that gets us home. I want to try one more thing, which is that with that E minor chord, I want to try making it spicy sad, which involves the major, making it a major seventh. So we take our main note, go down the smallest step we can. Oh, okay. Oh wait, hang on, sorry. I mean this, because it needs the major third in it there. That sounds quite nice. I want to hear that. I want to hear that. Dun, dun, dun. That's nice. That's nice. We can keep that ninth note in there. And it sounds freaking cool. Dun, dun, dun. Dare I say it? I think maybe the long search is over. Dun, 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 dun. Let's try putting what we've got together. Oh, gosh, sorry, my mistake. And then we go... Come on, Luke. That's nice. That's nice. You know what, that sounds a little, because we're ending there, that sounds a little bit like the kind of, that sounds a little bit like the sort of end of a sitcom theme tune, you know. And then the cast looks to camera. Timu Pulkinen says, this is so refreshing. Lovely, I'm glad to hear it. That's a lovely chord though, isn't it? Dakuba says, I'm getting Sims 1 vibe. Oh Oh yeah, well that's kind of Shy Violet says Luke is TV ready. Drunken Whaler says film before a live TV studio audience. Yes, that's the vibe. Spicy Sad Squad is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Yep. That's it. That's it. That is the vibe. But you know what? I think when we transpose that to something that doesn't sound so like an instrument that doesn't sound so cliched, I mean, you know, you're conjuring a vibe when you play like that on the piano, a slightly sitcom-y vibe. But I just wonder if maybe when we move to this keyboard, which is our sort of lo-fi keyboard, I think some of that is going to go away. Yep, that's nice. Vamptonia says this doesn't need the beat. And Team of Pokemon says Sunday night lo-fi with Luke Westaway. We have had that happen on this stream before. Sometimes, like, I usually work to a beat, but sometimes come up with something that just sounds better by itself. This could be one of those times. We'll find out, I guess. I'm just rocking back. I tend to like rock back and forth on the left hand here just to sort of keep the beat in my own head. Won't be necessary when we have drums. Sammy Get Fiddle says immediately changes that feeling from rainy day to neon evening with that lo-fi piano. What a lovely way of putting it. I'm wondering about another accidental here. At the risk of making this harder to play. Bugrom says, my music teacher always said that you have to end on a C. Was that a C on the sitcom theme end chord? No, that was a... In fact, there's no C in there. We could put one in, it would sound like this. I think that's nice. That little accent. It does, you know, like slightly increase the difficulty, but the difficulty of playing it. But if you're all prepared to be patient with me, then maybe we'll be all right. Here's an idea. Marty Giona says A flat major over the G pedal next. So there's a G pedal. Let's switch back to the piano while we're trying harmony, musical stuff. I do think the accidentals add something nice to the sound, says Angela Sanchez. Okay, so A flat major over the G pedal. So let's figure that out. A flat major. What are we talking about here? A flat major. Well, this is an A flat. That's an A flat major. Ah, now I think looking at this, I can see why it's been suggested. Because do you remember that? The E chord we were playing, the sitcom chord? Itzari says, I have unlimited patience for this. Oh, well, that's just as well. So there we go. Frodo Baggins says, A flat major is the one that got run over. So there's our E chord. Now if we move to the A flat, we're only moving. We're just moving this B to a C. But what's being proposed is keeping the G in the bass. Ooh. That is strong. That is bold. Let's try and make it a 7th and not play this A flat, because that is clashing quite badly with the G, as you can hear. I'll try anything. Interesting. It's quite strong. I'll tell you what, I feel like there's something there. It's so dissonant. It's so dissonant, but it could work. It could work, but I'm gonna keep it in the back pocket for when we really need something that's just like shocking. Cool. So where are we? Possibly I was just playing that wrong. Sorry. Daniel Sanchez says an E flat chord might be a nice jazzy way to move to D major. So that would basically be going like this. Yep. Let's just let's just hear where that wants to go. So we're going. This is a technique I use when I'm trying to figure out where something's going next. Is just to play the bass notes and just try and hear what might be a nice place for that to go next. So here's what we've got so far. Yep, I think we want to go to a C chord next. Maybe this is the time for that sequence that I was talking about right at the top. Should we see how that goes? Should we see how that flows one into the other? See if it sounds right. So there we are. That's where we are. We're ending on that E 9th chord, and then we're going down to C major. Could be okay. Spice it up a little bit. Let's make it the major 7th. Okay, yep, that's spicier, and we've already played it, so it's kind of already in your ear. That's nice. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. All right, let's check in with the chat while I just sit on that for a second. Lumos D says all this talk of trumpet accompaniment makes me want to pull out my own trumpet and start playing. Do it. Although in these times, it's more important than ever that we keep on good terms with our neighbours. So, so you know, trumpet responsibly. Angel Beat says that opening note was very Drops of Jupiter. Nice. Daniel Sanchez says, your humming is making me feel like it wants to move to A major. Wow, gosh, I had no idea my humming could communicate such rich concepts. Here's A major. Sorry, here's A major. Let's hear that. That's nice. Maybe it's not time yet to go to that C pattern. Or maybe we could go. Maybe we could play it there and then go to that A major at the end. Let's try it the other way around. Where are we? Yep, that's it. That's nice. That's nice. I think that's it. I think you were absolutely right there. From that E9, we'll just sink casually into A major. Very straightforward. Duo Maxwell says, I liked that bit, last bit. Phil Tyler says, I play the music from the last stream to chill out before I fall asleep all the last few days. Phil, that's really flattering to hear. That means the music's doing its job. So here's what I'm thinking. We keep it really simple in this bit. We go from the E to the A major. And we just sit there and we don't change anything except then we spice up the A by making it a 7th chord, which just involves moving this A down to G. Because that 7th chord just really implies so much travel. Frida's Human says chromatic passing notes in the bass, maybe. Let's try it. Maybe not there. Yeah, I got time for that. Nice. Let's try one more to get to the A. Okay, we've got to tidy this up a little. But that's sounding nice, I think. Sam Gitfiddle says, I kind of want to know how it would sound with a mixture of the two types of piano played over one another, like a conversation from an old jazz man to the new generation. What a cool idea. Phil Clem says, wow, sudden accidental Kate Bush. Nice. That's it. That's what I'm hearing in my head. It's a B minor. So what are we playing here? We're going C, D major to the G. Make that be a 7. I know I'm racing ahead a little bit here. I will slow this down in a second. I just want to finish this train of thought, if you like. Cool. Name's Neck says that humming almost sounded like a somber living on a prayer. Yeah, I like it. And Vamptonia says, why am I thinking of Butterfly Ball? I really get a kick out of people in the chat saying what these little things we play remind them of. We had what did we have last stream? There was just a little bit that was just so Ocarina of Time. It was just a little. It was just a few chords that turned out. We were like, hang on, that's Malon's song. Sitcom chord. Very nice. Then to the A. Da, na, 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 and 7th. Da, na, 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 na. And then we go to our section that we talked about at the top of the stream. Da, na, 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 na. So let's talk through that. So, in fact, let's hold for a second on that A major that we played, because it is I think it's the only chord we've played so far that is so simple. And I think it's worth interrogating, do we want to spice it up a little, do we want to knock it around? We're already going to a 7th, so it does get a little spicy. But let's just try... Let's just try the major 7th, which means adding in this A flat here, which we can easily do by playing it like this. That sounds not horrible. Oh, I think that's a lot. I think that's a much more sophisticated, ambiguous sound. And then we can still go to the 7th, I think. Maybe we could play all three. Maybe we could land on the A major. And then here's what I like, because if we go A major 7th, A 7th, then what that actually practically means is that we play the same notes, but my thumb here on this A, we just walk it down. That could be cool. Let's try and hear that. See how that vibes. Potentially. I'm not sure about that. Maybe this is the time to keep it simple. Let's try for now sticking with the A. Athena the Wild says some heavy Neil Young in that last bit. I can hear that as well. Do you know? Yeah, that's. Thank you. I was trying to put my finger on it. I was like, what am I hearing in there? Do you know what it is? It's a bit Fields of Gold. Got me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. That's it, that's what it is. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. I like that song. CAL says, this is honestly so relaxing and the music sounds like I'm either going to cry or overcome an emotional obstacle. Why not both? That's what I say. Crying can be overcoming the emotional obstacle. That's right. That's right. Whoa. You're reeling from the revelation. Duo Maxwell says, sounds like a good glass of scotch. Phil Clem says, Luke is healing us emotionally with his wisdom and music. Gosh. And Infilixerol says, Luke, you can't create such a chill atmosphere and then start dropping emotional truth bombs, please. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just try playing what we've played with our Funtime keyboard. This is our working keyboard. This is our hard work keyboard. This is our Funtime keyboard. This is, we've eaten our vegetables with the piano, so we get to see how it sounds like this. Where did should we go from the top? And here we go. I think that's just where that wants to go. I think it wants to go up to the B. It's a B minor 7th. We could try and spice it up even more. Add a C in there maybe. Make it which would be the 9th. Oh, crikey. Or would it? No, it wouldn't. This would be the 9th. Adding in this guy. Sounds a little less cool, doesn't it, when I play these notes just individually? Bip, bip, bip. Let's hear that. No, it's just got to be. It's got to have that minor quality to it, I think. Where does that want to end up? Is it back on the G? Nope. It's the C. It gets us back to the beginning though. Daniel Sanchez says B minor might want to go to E minor actually. Let's try it. Interesting idea. Interesting idea. The Ghost of Sabotage says, now I want to be listening to noir jazz with a glass of whiskey. Achievable goal. Glenn Forbes says, Luke, will you add lyrics? Caitlin RC says, can confirm the Discord is having a very zen convo alongside this. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Where do we want that beat to go? we're not done. We're not finished there, I think, because I think the right place for that B is in the middle of the sequence. So we go from the C to the D, and then we go straight up to the B, ignoring the G. Da, da. That's where that wants to go. Da, da. Da, na, 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 na. Da, 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 da. So let's find that. I love this. I love when I can hear it in my head, and we have to hunt it out. We have to hunt out the chord that I can hear in my head. Well, now that's promising. We might be talking about this G flat. Maybe not. Let's give it a fair shake. No, it's not that. We've played this chord before on a previous stream. What are we looking at there? It is an F sharp. It's an F sharp minus 7th. Capralord says there is a pure, spicy and sad discord that is very small and nice. Yeah, that's right. PTK says there's a spicy, sad squad discord too. Yeah, that's right. I think Orangeful set it up. It is unofficial, of course, but yeah, I'm sure links can be found to it. Right, back to the search for the secret magic answer chord. No. It's got to end on that. That's where we want to go. We want to go. I don't know the rest of the chord, but I know that the top note has to be this. Da, da. So it could be G. I think it's as simple as that G major chord. Dun, dun, dun. But it can't be that simple. That sounds too nice and straightforward. Numenaria says, I've been working on my house, super chill and relaxing. Angela Sanchez says, the G does work, but I wonder what a C might sound like. Oh, man, let's find out. Let's find out together on a learning journey. Sounds nice. Okay, I think I have it. Okay, a few more suggestions, things to try. Daradian says, you sound too nice and straightforward. David Geeksneck says C13 or C6. Let's try the C6. So that's... that could work. Sorry, just messing around there. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea because it was suggested that we go to C, but I just think that that just sounds right to me. It's the G in the bass that isn't doing it for me, but what if we do go to C, but only in the bass? So what we play is a G major over C, and that will sound like this. Fingers crossed. Did we nail it? I think maybe we nailed it. Let's hear it round. I'll stop humming so we can just hear the chords. That is nice, but it doesn't feel like it's the right place for it. That feels like an ending. That feels like an ending, and we are... You know, if we're playing this section, which is the C to the D to the G section, we've got, let's count it through, so like 1, 2, 3, 3, and what we need is somewhere we could end there with that, what we were doing before. But I think we want to be there on the 4th go round, not the 3rd. I'm humming again, sorry. Can't help it. Let's try this. Maybe A minor. Just trying things at random now. That's sometimes the process, I guess. Not right. Sounds okay. All these sound okay, but they're not. They're just. It's not the right. It's not the. We've not hit the nail on the head, have we? Okay, radical idea. What if what this needs... That chord doesn't sound nice. Or does it? See, what we're doing there is playing a G major 7th. But it sounds bad because these two notes are too close together. So what if we move this note? Because we like what it's adding sonically in theory. But what if we move it down an octave so that it doesn't clash with this G anymore? Or at least doesn't clash so much. That's a bit of a stretch though, hand-wise. Can maybe break it up. Still not quite right. Puzzling this bit. Okay. C major 7th. Maybe C was right all along. We just needed to spice it up slightly. Let's try 2 variations of C there. But first let's try this. David Geeksneck says try an F after the B. I'm curious to see how that sounds. Oh, well that's going in a very different direction, but I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it at all. The whole thing. Let me try that C major 7th that I was banging on about. Think that might be it. Think that might be it. Kazura Darklight says, hello Luke, I'm practicing my BO stuff while listening. Thanks for the chill music while I try not to break stuff in my house. Oh my gosh, don't get too relaxed while you're swinging the staff around. That sounds dangerous. Oh boy, KDP says, make it a G major over E. That will fly. Oh, hang on. Now that is a hell of a suggestion. Let's try that. That's it! That is it! Thank you, oh boy KBD in the chat. That is what I was hearing in my head. Oh gosh, isn't that beautiful? Doesn't that sound absolutely gorgeous? Oh, it's just going from that B minor 7th. That is it. That is it. Dawn Seabrick says, well done. Sonata says, yes. Genius, says David Gisnet. Yep, that was it. That was it. Thank you so much. That was entirely solved by the chat, that puzzle. Gosh, that's pretty. Okay, now we're flying, folks. And then, what did we talk about? Where did we go after? What did we talk about? And then we were talking about the G again, but with a C in the bass. See if we can get that involved. Well, now it doesn't sound right, out of order. Oh gosh, I'm so pleased with that. I think we don't overthink it, we just play the first two notes, the first two chords of that sequence again, which is the C major 7th and then that D. And then because we want to travel, we make it spicy with the C, which is a D7, which gets us back to the very first chord we were playing. The voice of Todd says it's spicy. It's sad. It's spicy sad. Lovely. Well, oh boy KBD, saviour of the sequence in the chat saying, I think the final D major before the next part should also be a C major over D. Oh, that's pretty spicy. I'm interested to try it. Oh, sorry, I played that the wrong way around. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So what are we doing different there? Before we were doing this, and then 7thing it to get back to this. Alternatively, that's nice. I wonder if we can have both. I wonder if we can have our cake and eat it here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So we do the C major 7th, and then we do that suggestion from the chat there, which is to stay on C in the right hand, but move up to the D here, and then we do that D7th that we had before. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm very happy with that. So this is how we end that sequence. All right, I'm pleased with that. Reminder in the chat, if you are just joining us, this is the first time you've tuned in, please consider subscribing. That sounded a bit desperate, didn't it? That came out slightly wrong. Sorry, please consider subscribing if you're enjoying this. Please consider subscribing. How devilishly charming. And then where did we go from there after that E? Here we go. My favourite chord. Gorgeous. Frickin' gorgeous. And that gets us home. Clumsy by Fact says, not as desperate as asking Diana to come to your island. Now, look, Diana moved in, so it worked. Okay, that's a lovely sequence we've got around. That's beautiful. There's one thing that I'm not completely satisfied with, and it's this bit. When we go from the sitcom chord to the A chords, which kind of are sort of in-between ones. And I'll tell you why I'm not completely satisfied, because I'm just wondering if maybe the first time round we want to hit that sitcom chord and then go back to the beginning of the sequence. Play it round again. But then the second time, which is now, just go straight to the A. Let's hear it with that spicy variant in it. I think that's fine. I think that's all we need, and I think it's neater. You know, I'm wondering if there's something else we can do here. I feel like I can hear in my head it goes like da 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 na 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 na. I feel like it wants to go da na na na. David Geeksnake says, "What's the sitcom chord again?" It is an E. What is it? I can't remember. It's an E9, the major seventh in it. So yeah, E major 7, 9. Yeah. So back to this bit. I feel like it wants to go da da da. Let's just try fudging with it a little bit more. So before we end up on this nice, straightforward G major, what if we do... Tell you what we haven't done. We haven't done any sus chords, have we? We haven't done any suspended fourths. So there's a G major chord. to make a suspended fourth, we lose the major third, which is this cheeky chappy here, this B. We substitute it for the fourth, which is a C. It's got a very distinctive, very optimistic sound, sus4 chord. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, because that's a C major, and then sus4. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. With a sus2 you go down 2, yeah. sus4 you go up 1. Sorry, just running through some stuff in my head there. In any case, I wonder how would that sound. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice, isn't it? Just a little bit of extra flavour buried in the middle of that little middle sequence. Come on, Luke, play it right. Hold that still. Don't want to be too extra. Not when we're going to this guy. Oh, my heart, it's exploded. Well, that's gorgeous. I tell you what, should we go back to our drum beat, which we haven't heard in ages now, and see how that sounds on top of that? Okay. Okay. Straight to the A. There's one bit I want to check there, which is the sitcom chord. It's pretty dissonant over the G. That I'm adding a G in there, in the bass there. Ooh. It's pretty dissonant. I think we might get away with it though. From the top. Ghost of Sabotage says, did Luke do the drums or is it a program? Well, I mean, they're electronic drums, but I programmed it. Well, I did use some randomization to make it a bit quicker. I didn't spend loads of time on it. But, you know, I customized it, tried to get the right kind of sound. Right. Yeah, cool. Cool. All right. So we are picking up quite a lot of dissonance from that pedal tone. Let me make some minor behind-the-scenes adjustment to my track. What if I just take it out of the bass? So now we're only hearing it higher up. That might sound a little better, for want of a better word. Oh wait, hang on. No, I'm not playing anything. Here we go. Straight to the A. Pretty dissonant, but it's nice. Here we go. Oh boy KBD, who's had some great suggestions, says, I still feel there should be a B after the A instead of waiting on A. Let's hear that. Sorry. So what if we go to a B chord? That might move up nicely to the C. Yep, love it. Let's add it in. What kind of B chord though? Let's just make sure we're playing the right thing, and also that we're playing it in the right place, because ideally I think we want to keep our notes nicely grouped in this bit. We want minimum travel. I think that's the way to play it. We could spice it up, but maybe we don't need to. But maybe, why would we not spice it up when we can? So we go from here. Yes, I love it. Oh, sorry. Luscious. That is gorgeous. Alright, let me just play that a few times around in my head, that new section there. That's cool. It adds a bit of momentum. It sort of teases some feels, and actually this, compared to this, how we begin, this is so like ambivalent, you know. It's so aloof and so jazzy, but this in comparison, that's got a lot of heart in it. That's pretty emotive. So I think this, playing that, going from the A, that sounds, you know, in context, that sounds so aloof to this. I mean, that to me says like, hey, that's just a straightforward major chord. Bam, things are about to get real, and then but also kind of stay spicy. Here they go. And then I think that delivers on that promise, you know. Alright, let's bring the beat back in. I'm going to turn that pedal tone down even more, just because the piano actually is quite subtle. I don't want it to get lost in the mix. It should just be on the edge of your hearing. Connor Earl says, so ethereal and calm, I love it. Thank you. Nice. I'm no longer sure about we were doing like an extra accented. I'm no longer sure about it with the beat. I think it's too much. I don't want to take emphasis away from that accidental, which I feel adds so much. Yeah. Lovely. Let's just keep going around, see if anything else occurs to us as we go. Yes. We've done it, folks. So, when we land on that sitcom chord, we hold there for quite a long time, and I just feel like there might be a little bit of left-hand business, just gently sort of pick out the shape of something. Maybe just pick out. How's about that? Should end there to go back to the G, which is fine, we can sort that out. Angela Sanchez says, right before you go back to the beginning section again, what if you played a G on the way in the left hand, B, G, E? What I'm doing here is I'm just describing the notes that are in the right hand, so just that's... This is what, like, if we had a bassist, this is what the bassist would be playing. That might be interesting, sound a bit peculiar, but get us back to the G. That's cool, right? I think I like that. Let's hear it. Yeah, it's alright. Don't hate it. Yeah, okay. Okay, alright. I'll tell you what. I think we've got our sequence. Now why don't we try it with see how it sounds here. Yes. All right. That sounds great, right? I hope everyone's enjoying that. Blank says, "Oh my days." Drunken Whaler says, "Sorry, still catching Vanilla Dome feels." Marty Gione says, "Groove time." All right. Theme the Wild says, "Amazing." Caitlin RC says, "How am I emotional over this right now?" Hey, look, it's a tricky time in the world right now. We're all prone to get emotional. What made me like tear up earlier? It was playing like a. It was playing. What was it? I think it was playing a C major 7 chord. Ah, the most beautiful chord of all. C major 7. Never beaten. Orange Full says, "This turned out really well. Loving it." Clumsy by Fat says, "This is so great. Thank you." Angel Beat says, "I was tabbed out and it sounds so good. I forgot you were playing live." Well, that's good. I was hearing just a lot of little time slips as I was playing. Obviously, this is like kind of the, 2 hours ago we didn't have this tune together, so I'm only just making it to the next chord every time, basically. We're really, really pushing it. So what I want to do last is just to, I've got a few effects queued up to put on the track, so just to kind of like really, really emphasize that sort of lo-fi sound. So I'll talk you through what I'm doing as I add it. So part of that like distinctive lo-fi sound is adjusting the EQ of the music so that you strip out both the bass and the treble. So that sounds a bit like this if I do that just to the drums. Try and hear the difference. Can you hear that? I can make it more extreme. Yeah. And then the next thing I want to do, and I'm applying this EQ to everything, so this is also going to affect the keyboard. So here it is without, and here it is with that EQ crunch. Subtle. But it's going to make a difference. Angela Sanchez says, "It deadens it like you're listening through a pillow." That's exactly it. That's exactly right. You're losing loads of detail. But I think the idea of the genre is to consciously not be afraid of just stripping out loads of sound. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is crank up something that's called saturation. So let's keep the beat playing, and then turn on some of that. So here we're stripping out even more of the bass frequency. Bring it back. There we go. That's too much. Saturate the sound, which you have to be a bit careful with. We can turn on a Caitlin RC says, "Saturation makes me think video saturation." Do you know what? It's kind of the same vibe. It's like kind of like 90s, like over, like subtly over cranked. Marty Giona says, "A little bit of bit crush too." You can hear how that sounds. I can turn up the bit crush. That's it. Extremely high. Suddenly it's a very different genre, but just having a little bit on. Nice. Cool. And then the last thing I want to do is add some modulation, LFO modulation. So you have to be really careful with this. I'm putting it on the whole track, so you got to be subtle with this. But here's what I've got. You can just hear it's this is easier with headphones, but you can just hear it slightly phasing in and out there. It's like a... You'll be able to hear it more if I crank up the intensity. Check this out. Kiwi6 says, I've just subbed because I'm feeling so relaxed. Well, that's amazing. Thank you very much for joining. So I'm going to turn that intensity down because we want this to be really subtle. What this does is it sort of simulates the effect of a really old tape, really old cassette tape that's like been run and run and run and run down, and is just and has lost its consistency, so it just sort of wobbles and wavers all the way through. And we turn that on as well for the. That's going to affect the keyboard also. That's a sort of extreme version. We just want it real subtle though, really subtle. It's so easy to go overboard with this stuff. It's just like video editing. You have to be subtle. Everything has to be discreet. Okay, so I've turned on a bunch of those effects. So let's just play through what we had, but with all those effects turned on. Got a weird tingly feeling all down my legs. I think it was a little spike of adrenaline for having played it through correctly once. Carl Be Back says, makes me think also of the white noise you'd hear on a vinyl. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I think this genre is going for. Now what this is missing is some bass. Obviously we have a little bit of bass in the piano, but what I would love to do is just to you know, I would go through afterwards. I'll see if I can sort of I'll listen to this tomorrow and see if I'm still hyped enough about it to sort of record it and put it out. But what it needs is a sort of, it's lacking bassline at the moment, but what it needs is just to be able, is for this, what we're playing in the bass, this just to be on its own track. For now what I'll do is I'll bring back some of the bass. In fact, let's boost some of the bass frequencies. Check this out. Yeah, that's right. How's that? Very bassy drums. Ooh, crikey. What we can do is turn that off, but apply it to just the piano, which might be nice, just so that we keep some of that bassy sound, but just in the piano, so it's not overwhelming the drums. Let's try that. The voice of Todd says, now my floor is vibing and I love it. Nice. And then, you know, the process here basically is just listening back and just hearing what sounds good and what's too much. Like, should we bring in? We could bring back a little of that top end. I think this is going to sound nice. That's nice. Nice balance between keeping the bass nice and loud in the keyboard. Oh, sorry. But it not being overwhelming on the drums. Sorry. Fluff that a little bit there. Let's try starting again, shall we? Here we go. I like playing that little run faster. I just did it that way because I forgot, to be honest, but I thought it sounded okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, that's cool. Angela Sanchez says, I agree, the run sounded better when it was a little quicker. Yeah, a bit more Game Boy-like. Lovely. Cool. Well, you know what, folks? I'm going to say I'm pretty chuffed with how that came out. I think that's sounding really nice. I'm not going to do any recording now. It's probably something to program in step by step just to get the timing perfect. Maybe I'll play some of these ones in live, this, like, because I kind of like that feeling a little clumsy and stilted, if that was like exactly on the beat. But I think it's nice it being like sort of stumbling down. My favourite bit, that. Oh. G minor has entered the chat. Nate says this should be the pre-stream music on Outside Extra or No X. Capralord says Luke has entered absolutely stunning music territory. That's very flattering. Mephi to go says it's called micro timing, shifting the notes ever so slightly in a controlled and intended manner. Micro timing, I like that. Someone in the chat mentioned Zora's Domain. Again, Ocarina of Time music. I don't have the musical aptitude to properly imitate the great composer Koji Kondo, but I think like subconsciously, like anything that sounds Zelda-y to me is always going to be pleasant. Emily Price says, I'm not late, I'm micro-timing. I love it. It's a great get-out clause. So I think that's probably going to do it for this stream. Seeing as there's a whole bunch of new folks here, thanks to Ellen bringing over a load of her subscribers, how about we end by just cycling through some literally everyone else in the world, because I know that everyone likes hearing that. I love playing it. It's my favourite chord sequence maybe that I've ever written. Cool. All right. Julian Orediana says it's literally the Game Boy credits if the Ox Venturers had a Game Boy game. And one day, God willing, we will. Okay, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you did enjoy this, then yeah, please subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing more of these. I also had an idea for like another thing to try and stream. Let me know if you would be into the idea of a live stream where I read old novels, which was something like an idea that I've been toying with. Like old out of copyright. I was thinking like old Victorian ghost stories, or like period drama, kind of romancy stuff, a little bit gothic. I don't know. Yeah, okay, good. All right, the chat seems pretty enthusiastic about that idea. I just think it would be fun. Mephi to go says, grand idea, but only with original music. Oh yeah, I think I could probably like come up with some spooky sounding stuff to go under it. Yeah, and just read, just read an old story. I think that would be fun. Anyway, thank you so much, folks. Subscribe if you like this. Names Next says, like Spike for good ideas. Well, gosh, I mean, who am I to tell you to like Spike? But like Spike if you like. Like Spike if you like. If you don't like Spike. That's what I always say. Hashtag if you don't like. Hashtag don't like Spike. Hashtag like Spike if you like. You know me, that's always been my slogan. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, folks. I really enjoyed this. It's so chill. This is my happy place. Subscribe to the channel if you like this. I don't know what else there is to say, so I think I will just leave you with a little bit of lo-fi that we cooked up from an earlier streams. I'll leave that going for a few minutes if you just want to vibe out. Thanks for watching, folks. Goodbye.